Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, taking a deep dive into a state that is often called the heart of Dixie. That's right, we're headed to Alabama. Now, you might think you know Alabama sweet tea, football, and Southern hospitality, and you're not wrong. But there's so much more to this fascinating state than meets the eye. We're about to uncover some truly mind-blowing facts about life in Alabama that will make you see it in a whole new light. So grab a glass of iced tea, get comfortable, and let's explore the surprising, quirky, and downright incredible sides of the Yellowhammer State. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Let's blast off with our first fact, which is literally out of this world. Did you know that Alabama is a major player in space exploration? Huntsville, Alabama is nicknamed the Rocket City for a very good reason. It's home to NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, which was the birthplace of the Saturn V rocket. That's the colossal rocket that took the Apollo astronauts to the moon. So every time you see that iconic footage of Neil Armstrong taking his giant leap for mankind, remember that the journey started right here in Alabama. Scientists and engineers in Huntsville are still at the forefront of space exploration, developing the next generation of rockets that will take us to Mars and beyond. It is pretty incredible to think that a state known for its rolling hills is also helping us reach for the stars. From outer space, let's dive deep underground. Alabama has one of the most unique and bizarre postal services in the world. Deep within the Cathedral Caverns State Park, you can find a mailbox. But that's not the weird part. The truly mind-blowing fact is that for a brief period, you could actually mail a letter from an underwater post office in the state. In the 1960s, a post office operated inside a diving bell submerged in a spring. Can you imagine putting on scuba gear just to send a postcard? While the underwater post office is no longer in service, it just goes to show the quirky and inventive spirit you can find in Alabama. It's a testament to the state's long and often surprising history. Now, let's talk about something truly monumental. You've all seen the iconic Statue of Liberty in New York, right? A symbol of freedom recognized around the globe. But what if I told you that Lady Liberty has a little sister, and she lives in Alabama? In the city of Birmingham, there's a 36-foot-tall, 1/5 scale replica of the Statue of Liberty that sits atop the Liberty National Life Insurance Company building. It was cast in bronze in France, just like the original. While it may not be as famous as its New York counterpart, it is a beloved local landmark, and a powerful reminder that symbols of hope and freedom can be found in the most unexpected places. It is a point of pride for the city and a little-known secret that adds to Birmingham's unique character. Let's shift gears and talk about nature. When you think of biodiversity, you might picture a tropical rainforest, but Alabama is a secret hotspot for life. In fact, Alabama ranks first among all states in the U.S. for freshwater biodiversity. That means it has more species of freshwater fish, turtles, mussels, snails, and crayfish than any other state in the country. The rivers and streams here, like the Cahaba River, are teeming with an incredible variety of aquatic life, some of which are found nowhere else on Earth. It's a paradise for ecologists and nature lovers. This rich biodiversity is a precious natural treasure, and there are huge conservation efforts underway to protect these unique ecosystems for future generations. It's a side of Alabama's natural beauty that often gets overlooked. Speaking of unique creatures, have you ever heard of the Alabama white thing? This isn't a scientifically recognized species, but a fascinating piece of local folklore. Throughout the rural parts of the state, there have been sightings for decades of a mysterious, large, white creature resembling a giant albino kangaroo or even a Bigfoot-like figure. Stories describe it as being over 7 feet tall with glowing red eyes. Is it a misidentified animal, a local legend passed down through generations, or something else entirely? Whatever it is, the legend of the Alabama White Thing adds a layer of mystery and intrigue to the state's deep woods and folklore. It is a great example of how local stories and myths shape the culture and identity of a place. Now for a fact that will sweeten your day. Alabama is the birthplace of a dessert that has become a staple at potlucks and family gatherings across America, the Lane cake. This famously rich and complex cake was invented in the late 1890s by Emma Rylander Lane of Clayton, Alabama. It's a white sponge cake layered with a decadent filling of raisins, pecans, coconut, and bourbon-laced custard. It is so significant to Alabama's culture that it was even mentioned in Harper Lee's classic novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, and in 2016 it was designated the official state dessert of Alabama. So if you have a sweet tooth, you have an Alabamian to thank for one of the most iconic Southern desserts ever created. Let's get back to history, but with a musical twist. Alabama's contribution to American music is absolutely immense. Muscle Shoals, a small city in northern Alabama, became an unlikely music capital in the 1960s and 70s. Legendary artists from all over the world, including the Rolling Stones, Aretha Franklin, Bob Dylan, and Paul Simon, flocked to Fame Studios and Muscle Shoals Sound Studio to record some of their biggest hits. They came for the unique Muscle Shoals sound, a soulful, gritty, and authentic vibe created by the local session musicians known as the Swampers. These musicians played on countless hit records, shaping the sound of rock, soul, and R&B for a generation. It's incredible to think that so much world-changing music came from this small Alabama town. Here's a fact that might make you rethink your travel plans. Alabama is home to the world's largest office chair. No, you heard that right. In the town of Anniston, you can find a gigantic 33-foot-tall chair that was originally built as a promotion for a local furniture company. It weighs a staggering 2,000 pounds and has become a beloved roadside attraction. While you can't actually sit in it, it's one of those quirky, fun landmarks that make a road trip memorable. It is a perfect example of the playful and sometimes eccentric character you'll find when you venture off the beaten path in Alabama. It just goes to show, you never know what you'll discover around the next corner. Let's talk about a truly heroic chapter in Alabama's history. During World War II, the Tuskegee Airmen became the first African-American military aviators in the U.S. Army Air Corps. They trained at the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, overcoming immense prejudice and segregation to become one of the most highly respected fighter groups of the war. They were known as the Red Tails because of the distinctive crimson paint on their planes' tails. Their skill, courage, and impressive combat record helped pave the way for the desegregation of the U.S. military. Their legacy is a powerful story of perseverance and patriotism, and it all began right there in Tuskegee, Alabama. Their story is a vital part of American history and a source of immense pride for the state. And for our final fact, let's wrap up with something that truly defines the spirit of Alabama. The state motto is Odimus Jura Nostra Defender, which is Latin for we dare defend our rights. This motto reflects a long history of standing firm for what its people believe in. But beyond the political meaning, I think it speaks to a deeper sense of pride, resilience, and community that you find throughout the state. From the innovators in Huntsville to the musicians in Muscle Shoals and the everyday folks who show incredible hospitality, Alabamians have a spirit of determination and a deep love for their home. It is a state with a complex past, but a vibrant present and a future full of promise. So there you have it, 10 mind-blowing facts that show just how diverse, surprising, and fascinating life in Alabama really is. From launching rockets to the moon to creating the soundtrack of a generation, this state has made an impact that reaches far beyond its borders. I hope this has given you a new appreciation for the heart of Dixie. What was the most surprising fact to you? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you in the next video.